bullshit blazing, still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new one under you. Soon you will know, we already know the smell of the game. Do you know who you are when you speak your words? Don't sound like your own. You're trapped in the toxic created by this world. That is who you are. No science will say that I must be dead some time without clothing in kisses on the ground. That is bullshit blazing, still my heart is blazing. If I lose my wings, I don't need a new world under you. Can't feel a thing, we already know the smell of the game. Remember you are blazing, still your heart is blazing. If the world made you, I don't need a new world under you. Soon you will know, we already know the smell of the game. What am I? What am I?
What am
What
I?
am I?
What am
What
I?
am
What
I?
Mankind knew that they cannot change society, so instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts. But they found beauty in the lives of beasts and couldn't lie to themselves about it.
And this is no part of the world. But no one can break me. Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world under you. My time is my word. Your words will never let me disappear. That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world under you. Soon you will know, we already know the smell of the, know the smell of the
That's over, I suppose. Hey, how's it going, everyone? It's sure been a week. Mostly a week of not sleeping much. My sleep schedule has been even more wrecked than usual. But yeah, well, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's working perfectly fine. I blame Stream Elements. No, I blame you. Jokes aside, yeah. I'm... I'm... I don't know, I don't quite know what I want to do yet, to be honest. Uh, we still need to work on level design, like I need to work on level design. Reworking how I want to have the opening stage to look. But there's also some tile set stuff I would like to do, which I might do first. Because I have some ideas for tile stuff that, like, mainly for background stuff. Because there's a lot I would like to put in the background but currently can't because, you know, it's all a bit wonky. So yeah, I guess I'm going to rework the tile sets first. And maybe make some plans, like sketches, for how I want to have the stage look in the future. Because that's basically a thing that is always helpful, making like sketches. So yeah, I guess that's the plan. First I should probably open both Godot and Ace Pride. Um, so yeah, that does it? No, it doesn't because I hit Godot. That would make it a lot easier. So yeah. But I actually want to start with Ace Pride because, yeah, the tile sets might need some work. Which, first of all, I want a copy of... Where is it? That tile set. Because I like the way the building looks, but I would have like to have a variant for it in the background. Which means I'm going to basically do all of this, but again, basically putting that tile into the background instead. Like as the main tile. I think you get what I mean. And if not, well, too bad. So, this is going to take a sec. Until I filled out every, you know. This shouldn't, you know, Because that's the main thing, basically, of making tilesets, honestly. Just making sure that all the tiles somewhat look like they fit together. Which can be done in many ways. I use it by using a similar, background scheme. I might later vary that with some noise on the tiles, but we'll see about that. Also, I need to remember which tiles I already have done. I also shouldn't just drop that. But yeah, I basically just want a copy of this tile set that's in the background. Like this, yeah. If I would have been smart, I would have started from the top, but I am not. Unfortunately. It's fine. The biggest issue is those gaps in the tile are intentional because sometimes the outline doesn't quite align with the outside, like with the border of the tile. For example, here the corners aren't actually part of the outline. So yeah, I need to take care of that. And of course I would like to change the pattern as well. Like that. That. Oh, that's not good. But hey, how's it going? I did not want to copy that entire... But yeah, that is going to make this whole thing darker, so it's, not right in the front of everything. And once again, I would have probably been smarter if I, started from the top. But... I guess it's too late now to regret that. I mean... true, I guess. I mean, a bit exaggerated, but that's kind of the thought process because that got me here, I guess. The thought process of I can't really understand how someone would limit themselves only to, one option, in quote unquote. And I mean, not saying that that's wrong or anything, it's just I can't understand why someone would Exactly. It's just as much choosing, not choosing, as I would say I chose, you know. But you know, that thought process, like, why would you limit? Obviously, you didn't choose, but I feel like I wouldn't want to make that choice either. And again, that's a me thing, not everyone needs to be pan or bi or whatever. Uh, but yeah. Um, so now I guess first I'm going to remove that outline. Can I just... Also, I hope the point I tried to get across was clear. Like, I don't want anyone to think that I actually think, you know, monosexuality or whatever is just a choice, because obviously it isn't either. Just as much as being bi or gay isn't. I hope this works like I want it to. Probably won't, but you know, you can hope. Should probably remove. Yeah, that makes this easier. Like my point was more, I realized I kinda find the thought limiting, even if it makes perfect sense to others. Do I still know what the point is? I don't know. Anyways. Was that every... I guess I should probably take... I don't want to remove that. I think it's easier to just do this. Anything else? I think that's everything except, I guess this one? I'll do that manually because I need to remove this for both the pattern and the... No. I guess I'm pasting this in and then immediately deleting it. Does this work? Yeah, it does. Not that way, I need to first do this whole dance. And then it works, but it works. And I guess I need to remove this as well. I still don't know how I want to do a steel plate kind of background. I'll need to think about that. I don't need this tile anymore. Because, you know, all the tiles here look like this now. I can just move this over here. Or over there, I don't know. And then move all of this down. Yeah. And then I guess I need to update the outline to be more in line with the rest of the sprite. Also removed black outlines, so it doesn't look like you can stand on these platforms. That's going to be a lot of these platforms that I need to rework, but oh well. But yeah, if I do this, I basically have a second version of all the building tiles that allow me to basically have buildings in the background. Which is going to add a bit more depth to this. And especially a more crowded sort of feel. Claustrophobic in a way, even. That's wrong. Are the corners in a normal building as well, like wrong as well then? Huh. Never noticed. That corner too. Huh. How did I never notice that? Oh well, now it's fixed. Uh, I don't know how many more I have to do of these, because it's kind of difficult to tell because of the, you know, relatively low contrast. Because the stage intentionally kind of invokes the, you know, realism is brown sort of effect, where everything is kind of gritty and muddy and dark and desaturated, and insert any other adjective you like that sounds boring. Because apparently whoever designed realistic games back then didn't know, never went outside. Uh, which I mean, they're lost, but and now I'm just going to make that darker, and then we can move on to the walls, which hopefully are a bit better in that regard. My mouse just jumped somewhere. It does that sometimes. I got a new mouse and it's a bit weird. It has some oddities, let's say it this way. So yeah. Um, no, now I should probably first. Oh, since we are listening to a Sonic song right now, has anyone seen the new story trailer for Superstars? I think it looks pretty neat. Although the implication that Eggman is going to unleash yet another cosmic horror is kinda feels more adventure than classic, but I don't mind it. Although the classic style with, you know, cosmic horrors really doesn't help with my perception that that game looks like a Kirby game. Because, you know, classic Kirby game, cutesy environment, and then you fight a cosmic horror all of a sudden. As one does. Sorry, by the way, if I'm a bit quiet. It's just a lot of copy and pasting right now. Like, not copy and pasting, which would be easier, but more like it's just slow, I guess. It's a very slow and repetitive task. Which I guess is a good opportunity to discuss. How was your day, everyone? Feel free to tell me about it. I am all ears, metaphorically. I've seen a character design that's literally all ears and it doesn't look... It looks kind of weird. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. Oops. Oh, by the way, regarding the new animation for like story animation, I also made a community post about that on YouTube. If you wanna hear my opinion on it. Yeah, just a short little, summary of my thoughts. Nothing, particularly deep. But yeah. Once I'm done with this, I will probably make a quick sketch of how I want to, at least the opening section, to look now that we have a wall jump. Which I still haven't implemented the animation for that, that works. But oh well. I also probably need to make an attack animation for it, which isn't too bad. I can do that. It just might be a bit more complicated than I would have liked. I need to start with darkest colors. I need to remember that because, basically because the brightest color is darker. I need, like, all colors are darker, so naturally the darkest color will change to something that isn't yet there, while one of the brighter colors might be already used by another shade. Wrong color. Let's see. I already did that one. Okay. Almost at the bottom. Again, it's a bit slow and repetitive, so... Not quite ideal, but... it needs to be done. Okay, it's not quite as dramatic. Dramatic music always... at the worst time. Okay, now I only need to take care of the outlines here, and which luckily most of that can be handled via filling, like using the tool, fill tool. I just need to check for all the lines that are unconnected. Which unfortunately is not few, but... and this brown on black isn't particularly the best. They are both incredibly dark. So there's a non-zero chance that I'm just missing stuff. Like there. One should be fine. So, yeah. I just hope I got everything. Because having an outline that would, you know, not fit might confuse the player. Especially because I established as a rule, basically, that the outline tells you if a wall has collision or not. I need to do my best to actually keep the free cookies. Probably. I mean, I'm pretty sure Twitch is using cookies, so you know, do with that information what you want. Oh right, going pretty good. I'm just currently working on some background stuff, like buildings I can put in the background compared to what I had before. With buildings that are in the foreground. Basically, so I can put buildings in the background as well. To give it like a more closed up, claustrophobic kind of feeling. Like you're really in a city with a bunch of buildings. Might also later use more different styles of buildings. I'm still thinking about how I would handle that. But yeah, how's it going? Sorry if I'm a bit distracted, I just need to pay attention that I don't miss anything. That's good. I see. You probably have a meeting. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I could probably use this as a platform. Huh. Hmm. Maybe. Well, I'll need to think about that one. In which case I would need to redesign some stuff, but it's fine. But those theoretically would make a good platform. Okay. So I guess that's... Nope, wrong color. Yes, this is from No Time to Explain, pretty sure. Yeah, No Time to Explain. I need to find more people to play this game with, it's hilarious. When me and Devoid played it, it was a playthrough. I'd put it on YouTube, but the quality of my mic back then was horrible. Like, that was before I got a decent mic. And I don't want to subject anyone to that. Not anymore. Speaking of, is the audio actually... Okay. I don't think I asked this. Okay. Should probably adjust this to... Honestly, I can just remove this. These tiles aren't... No. I don't know if I want to. It looks cool, but it's also not quite my usual style of game. So... Maybe. Oh, changing that will... it's fine, I'll need to rework the entire map anyway. So it's fine, it's fine. Don't even worry about it. I don't dislike Souls-likes, I'm just not good at them, and I would like to start with some of the quote-unquote easier ones first. Before. True. Silk did do that. Okay. I think that's good. So I guess I'll throw that into Godot. And then we can be very happy if this doesn't completely break. I mean, it will break stuff, but you know. Maybe not as much. Where is... I should probably find a folder for that. Assets, not animations, sprites. And file manager. My mouse is sometimes very jumpy. I don't know why. I'll need to look into that. So, yeah. Hamsters. Clearly. Hamster. My CCs. Where was I? Oh yeah, watching how I probably just broke everything in, yeah, spicy. I did good. As you can imagine, this is not how this is supposed to look. If it wasn't, you know, obvious. I kind of want to keep this boss set up simply because the boss is already pretty well set up. But I might put it somewhere else, so I don't know yet. Plus I will need to move the background tiles anyway, so But in theory we have now a background. And I'll probably need to make a second tile set for the background, because if I make a second tile set for the background, this means we could theoretically have scenarios in which you can play on switch to background tile set, but more importantly it would allow me to layer background behind the tile set. Which if you look here you notice there are gaps. Because the background doesn't actually go below that. And that's no good. So I'll need to fix that. Plus I need to change the design of this area anyway, because since we now have a wall jump, we can just, you know... does it capture? Yeah. We can just... wall jump up here. Don't mind the broken windows. I messed up. Slightly. Okay, a lot, but... I tried. Also, as I said before, I didn't do the animation yet, so... But yeah. Means the entire level needs... Yeah, the windows are just slipping. Is it wrong to say an operating system? Um... So... First of all, I should probably fix the... True, but... I don't have a response to that. True. True woo. So I guess I need to update, first of all, the windows. Tile maps. I hate tile maps. A tile set? I think tile set. One sec. Yeah, sure. And now I guess I can just... Yeah, I know, the tiles are missing, don't mind me. I'm just going to fix the windows really quick. Because I did totally not mess up. I would never. How could I possibly mess something up like tile sets? It would never, ever... Okay, maybe it might happen a few times. Is there anything? Oops. I mean, I don't quite know why I'm fixing this, considering I'm probably going to tear most of this down again, but... Now I'm already committed. Now to the next problem. Should I make a second tile map for the background? Or is it enough if I... No, if I make a terrain it would replace the other... So I guess a new tile map? Although the option for layers makes me curious. Yeah, I was also about to say that the option for new layers exists makes me kind of curious if I can't. No, I mean I could, but I think I would rather just. I would rather just not continue this. Does this put it behind or in front? I don't know. There's only one way to find out, I guess. Also, I still need to add the new tileset. So, uh, add. Forgot how do I do this. They changed completely how. They completely changed how tile maps work in Godot 4, and since then I have been consistently confused. Uh, um, right back at you. Do I just do it like this? Listen, I'm not good at this. They changed it and I hate it. And it's probably just it's new, so I hate it, but I take back in my day, which was like what, a year ago. When did Godot 4 came out? See you in a bit. Back in my day, earlier this year, do I need to make a new terrain? How do I make a new terrain? Inspector, not gadget. Right. Ah, sure. Whatever. Oh, right, I need to do that. Ah, yikes. What was it? No, no, no. Ah, I hate this already. I know nothing changed, but you know, doesn't change the fact that I hate it. I'm just a resident good old grumpy old man. I also hate it for other reasons, but... Oh, great. Twitch didn't tell me about this ad break. Because why would Twitch? I'll be right back. Well then, sorry about that. I would plan my ad breaks better if, you know, Twitch would tell me about my ads. But oh well, it is what it is. Back to this. I suppose that's... I need to cheat with this so I don't remember how all of them look. Thing like that. And like that. And that one. Sorry, they're a bit visually difficult to differentiate. So next is that one, which I think looks like this, and then probably that one like that. Yeah. Those don't get auto tiles, so I won't. Those are just like this. Nope, not like that. And that one's like this. I think like this. Yeah. No, that way. Yeah, that looks correct. Which it might very well not be, but I'll regret it once I'm there. And I think those two are that way, and then I'm done, I think. That seems correct. And if it breaks, we'll know. It doesn't need any properties because it doesn't have collision, I think. Why are you not... Am I doing something wrong? Or does it just not update the tile map immediately? Because it doesn't show anything here. That's weird. Am I doing something wrong? I thought I did, but... Yeah... It seems I get it. Maybe it's just not updating correctly, but like... Nah, it updated now. I don't even... Wrong layer. So... Wait, I could just... Did something like this. So... I guess that works. Let me check. It sure does. I could even get creative with layers and like put like a building behind another or something. If I really wanted to. But for now I think that works perfectly fine. So next is probably like basically just adding the background here, honestly. For which I again select tile map, terrain 2, layer 1, and do this, then layer. Well, why did it just delete it? Oh, because I'm still under eraser. That would do it. And now if we check, I accidentally started the entire I accidentally started the entire game. Up here, like the starting screen, by the way. When we're already here. Ah. Yeah, that looks good. Except I'm taking way too much damage, but that's just because I'm bad at games, I guess. At this game, anyway. And yeah, that definitely seems like you could just walk through that. Especially with the comparison of the actual wall, I guess. So I guess I probably won't want to do something similar for these tiles here. And I might also want to have some sections that are inside a building. with like furniture and stuff. Kind of inspired by, to be honest, by Gunpoint. Which I don't know if you all have seen me stream that. I only got like halfway through the game, and I kind of forgot about it. In fact, it's currently even uninstalled. Funnily enough. Welcome back. Yeah, I did in fact fix things a little bit. And I added a proper, you know, background now. This will still need to be worked on. Although it's not bad, like it works. Just isn't ideal. I'll probably add some windows here as well. Now that I, you know, can place windows. I should have seen that joke coming. Can I interest you in some... I probably need to make that darker. But again, this is at the moment just trying to make the background tiles work. Because, again, a lot of this is going to be establishing how I want the game in general to look. Does this look like you can walk through it? Does this look like it's in the background? Do I need to rework it? Because I can rework it. That's no problem. It's just a matter of... Yeah, was also what I was thinking. Making it darker. I mean, I was thinking about replacing that entire texture, but I also kind of like the tile. Yeah, this was also what I was thinking. Obviously, they don't look like a crate here because they aren't connected to the floor, but I agree, it should probably be darker. And I might do a different texture, but I also kind of want to keep this in case I want a deliberate panel look, if you get what I mean. But I will probably make more background textures. I do want to have variety. So yeah. I guess I can give this a darker tone. Oops, wrong layer. Maybe with like something like this, maybe? I don't know. Nah. I'd rather keep it simple. So I guess I throw it into Godot. Godot. And I guess now let's give it a try. But I agree, I'm also not completely sold on the texture. But that looks good. I think that works. Might you also have the possibility to later add like windows here? Maybe even windows without, you know, black or yellow for like windows you can see through to the outside. To imply that we're inside. There's a lot you can do. And we might do that in a bit. I just want to... Also the buildings in the background will need to be reworked. I feel like at the moment they have a bit too... They're a bit too samey in a way. Like all of them are kind of the same. But you know. One thing we can definitely do is add uh, windows here. So it doesn't look completely, you know, like a big block. Yeah, sure. Then something like this. Just to, you know, get a little bit more uh, color and stuff into this design. Later we can also add light to them so they actually, you know, have a bit of an effect on the lighting. Yeah, that looks good. I need to update this one as well. Blah, blah, blah. Over here. Interesting, you can have it place random tiles. That's good to know. Yeah. And then I guess... Let me check if there's more over here. Probably, yeah. I remember that part. And then put the same thing again with... Probably don't need it over here actually. Maybe I do actually. That actually is an interesting case where probably just going to place... Maybe not like this. Because I feel like that's going to be too much just to make that work. But an interesting thing to keep in mind. That's actually something I need to pay attention about. That in more complex background arrangements, it might quote-unquote leak out. Ow. If I was paying any more attention to these enemies, they would be finished. It's an interesting thing to keep in mind. Fine. I also, again, need to rework combat so badly. And I don't need to fight the boss right now, so... Because the boss arena is fine at the moment. But yeah, that puts us with a pretty big map right now. And I mean, we're getting somewhere where I feel like I'm starting to understand how I want certain things to look and work out. I still need to think a lot about the background, because I don't quite... Here's the thing, I don't hate the background, obviously. But like... It's just kinda bland in my opinion. Like, not terribly bland, but... It's all kinda just the same. And it doesn't quite have that sci-fi feel like I kind of want to include, even. For example, there should be more highways, more, you know, more really tall buildings, not just these a few story buildings, but actual skyscrapers. And the problem is at the moment it doesn't really feel like a city. And I feel part of that is this pretty bland color scheme, which I'm not quite sure how I want to handle. I am going in the right direction, definitely. I just feel like the whole... True. And I mean... Yeah, I definitely think it's not bad. It's also not the biggest priority, because it serves its purpose. It's not, you know, perfect, but yeah. And I also feel... exactly. I'll reiterate and stuff and make it look good as we go. So yeah, I agree. It's... I also think giving the background a rework now is probably not the smartest. Because I still have a lot of things I would like to flesh out first. Like, flesh out the foreground, like the actual level and stuff, so I have a better idea of how this city actually looks, if you get what I mean. and then I can put similar stuff in the background. I do want to keep the mountains. I really like how the mountains look. Maybe give them a slidery design, but honestly they are fine. I might expand it a bit more downwards, but otherwise... all in due time, yes. I'm just thinking when due time is, and... we'll see about that, I guess. I really do think we should... I should focus on... the foreground layer first. And also, again, thinking about how I want to design the level. Because obviously I kinda want to invoke... with some of the design decisions, the... Wait a sec. Invoke the opening stage of Mega Man X. Where is it? Where is it? There. Because, obviously, with the Mega Man X inspiration and everything, not referencing the stage is going to be weird. But also, I don't want to just, remake the stage, obviously. I want to get a different style as well. And that's something that needs a lot of thought, in my opinion. How I want to invoke the style without just copying it. One thing that I already see, which I completely forgot about, the street lamps. I feel like a more realistic, less futuristic approach to the special stage might be, not special, opening stage might be the right approach. Lamps and stuff, definitely. Which is also another thing I need to rework the lighting, and I don't quite know how to do that. It's a Silic thing, but Silic is busy. Yeah, maybe. In general, I made you, yeah, sure. Whatever. I see what you mean. Because originally, I had it if you look at the tiles here, does it show? Sprite, please, no. Sprite has eaten my pointer again. It does that sometimes. What I originally did here in these areas was something like this, where it was no outline at all, but I kinda don't like this. It just feels unfinished, if you get what I mean. So, like, I'm not quite sure how I want to do this yet. It's something I'll need to think about. For sure. Kinda, yes. It's like the outline, the way I do the outlines here, I kinda like in the sense of having it be just a softer outline so it doesn't look like you collide with it, if you get what I mean. Because that's actually the thing, the outlines for the tiles in the background are actually brighter than the outlines for the collision. This uses more of a brown, even if it's very dark, while the actual collision uses... I also need to rework the camera, by the way. It currently is very, you know, it's too snappy in a way. But that's another issue. But yeah, the idea is basically by using softer outlines here, I get more of a, you know, more of a clear outline. Like, this is clearly non-collidable, while this is clearly collidable because it has a black outline. It's kind of the whole design philosophy behind this. It doesn't. Mega Man X doesn't have outlines in that regard. And it's a valid approach. It usually uses more, how do I describe it? It shows the surface on top of, you know, like the floor you're walking on, it shows it. Instead of just the side of the... It has a slightly angled perspective, I guess. So let me just show real quick. What it does is basically have for the floor basically a surface like this, and then the lower part of the floor like this, with the player obviously walking on this part, the green part, like the brighter green part, the green part. Which is not a bad approach, but I don't like doing that. It's not bad, mind you, but I wouldn't do it that way. So yeah. Yeah, obviously, I can do whatever I want, but I still need to actually... Why is he stuck in this wall jump? I don't mind. It's just weird why he is currently stuck in that animation. Anyways. Yeah. I mean, I can add something that shows that you can walk there. I'm sure there's something I can do. I could also, for example, add a bus stop here, something like that for an decoration object. Was just a thought. In general, I feel like just adding more objects to this will help a lot with the style. Also having like the road in the background maybe. So there's a lot you can do. Also maybe foreground objects. Though I'm always a bit cautious with foreground objects because, you know, if it's not done right, it can either look awkward because it's in the foreground but still doesn't quite look like, or it might have issues with looking like it has collision despite not having collision. It's weird. I need to think about how I do that. But I guess for now I should probably think about planning more. Specifically, what I need to plan is what I want to do with the level. Like, how do I want the level to actually progress now that I have somewhat of a basic design concept? If we, for example, take this as the ground. The size of these chunks is not representing for anything, so you know. But like if we have our player here, and yes, I'm sketching this just as much in Sprite as I'm sketching anything else. But yeah, if the player starts here and we have like a section like this, how do we? I probably can remove a lot of the height from this. Uh, 48. But all of it is removed from the top. If we have like a section, we probably want to introduce the player relatively soon to enemies, so have an enemy here. Just a normal enemy, the music doesn't need to be that dramatic. You know. Something like that. Yeah, sure. Like, I still like the intro section I have for the level currently. that is like, you know, having an enemy, like having us start with an enemy we have to approach and then deal with, and then have us slowly learn the basics of platforming. There, an issue will be wall jumping. Since you can wall jump on this, it might be better to have like some way to prevent the player from wall jumping of it. But then again, it's not bad if they learn wall jumping early. I just need a section where they have to learn it. And obviously now I need to account for the player being able to wall jump, which is different to what we have had before, where he didn't know how to, like, where the player couldn't wall jump, so... Huh. So yeah, I guess... starting with a platforming section is still a pretty good idea, though, in my opinion. Don't mind the crude drawings. It doesn't need to be, you know, perfect. It just needs to be enough to get the point across. I also kind of like this section here, like we had here, where the player learns how to... I just assume one quote-unquote tile is one jump. Like one jump, height, length, whatever. I mean, unironically, the video on Mega Man X opening stage Aaron did low-key inspired me. Like, it did teach me how this whole thing works, even, you know. Exactly, Sequelitis. Even though it is, you know, ironic. It is pretty good, yeah. Like, I do genuinely enjoy those videos. I should probably also canvas size. At 32 to the left. And again, this isn't necessarily a perfect representation of how the level is going to look. It doesn't have to be. What I need to think about is how do I stop the player from abusing the wall jump. I say abusing, but it's just using it in the way it's intended. Because I also kind of like the tunnel section here, where it's like you... I mean, obviously, but like... For example, if the player gets up here, it's not necessarily bad, but it might make the learning experience a bit more... I mean, the obvious answer would be something like... Excuse me? The obvious answer would be something like... this. Maybe not with this material, but this is an example. Although I am kind of curious, could I... Could I... No. There's no way to preserve a jump via dash, which would be cool. And might be an ability you unlock later, but... I might also just put in a ceiling on the level, like an invisible ceiling. But I'll need to think about that. I mean, I would, definitely, but it would kinda be awkward to have them explore something that high up that soon. So I don't know, I'll see about that. Definitely, I just kinda would like to do that exploration stuff after the player is first forced to use the wall jump, so... Yeah, obviously. It shouldn't be anything too worth. Kinda a similar thing to what I do here. Something like collecting the health here. Like bonus health if you think about using the air dash. Which obviously is now not a thing because you can wall jump up there, but... You know. Yeah, like a 1-up. If we have lives, which is another thing I haven't actually thought about if I want to have lives or something. But that's a completely different discussion. Maybe a score bonus, or you know, if there's a thing like in-game currency, something like that. We'll see. There are a lot of things you could give the player. I agree. But yeah. I think the main focus right now should be something like, what do I... Oops. I feel like I shouldn't do that. Even though it would be funny. I mean, I don't think that would be speedrun strats as much as it is, you know the secret and win. That's a death exit. I mean, I guess. But I don't think there's that much of a level thing. We'll see, I suppose. I kinda don't like the look of this. Okay, funny idea. What if we put something on top of the building and the building, like over the building? Like something like, that there's a path here, maybe blocked off by something so you don't have to go all the way, but, you know. That you get like a secret item here. Like that you... What I was thinking is that if you use the wall jump, you see like a item you can collect later. Some sort of treasure. It's probably not going to be actual treasure, but you know. That just... I don't know. Yeah, something like that. So we reward the player for exploring, but... And if how we handle it is... There are several ways we could handle it. Just needs to, you know, look good enough. So we tease the player with something they can collect, but don't actually... So they can go back and collect it if they notice it. I mean, alternatively, I could also just make it high enough that you can wall jump on the wall, but... Now I already went through all the trouble to design this. You know, I could make it impossible to reach that wall, but overthinking is my specialty. Overthinking is my passion. And I'm just going to put a building here because why not? Doesn't actually matter if you can reach that building or not. I feel like this building should be the higher one. Chop. Yeah. So that's like the opening section. A simple matter of you go here, fight the enemy. This is this tool is horrible to circle something, and I'm horrible at circling stuff too. So I should maybe put the path on a separate layer. Just so I don't permanently ruin this. So you go here, fight this. Jump up here. Jump up here. Jump up here. And that's running without warning me again. Thank you, Twitch. I'm so thankful that you tell me when ads are happening. I'll take a quick break. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think. As always. Anyway, I think. Again, sorry. Twitch is very odd about this. Unfortunately. But yeah. Back to this. Back to the start, I guess. I guess what I should add next is like I also kind of like having an enemy in the. I made another mistake. I'll fix it later. I also kind of like having an enemy here that it's like flying around. Just so the player has more stuff to fight. I'm also not sure yet about respawning of enemies, like... a lot of the Mega Man games have like, you know, respawning enemies that like respawn if you put them off screen and then reload the screen there on. Which is a good way to, you know, farm for items and stuff and keep the player on their toes. And I'm not sure how I want to handle that. If I want to have respawning enemies or not, if I want every enemy to respawn or not. And that's, I guess, something I need to test, but like, you know. I guess I need to think about how I do that. But yeah, I guess fighting that enemy not quite as required. Honestly, the biggest thing is that currently the robots are pretty easy to avoid, and also make it pretty easy to avoid, like, make it... I sprayed my mouse again. Like, currently I can just jump over this enemy and that's it. Not much of a confrontation. And that's part of the issue, is that, you know, the enemies have a lot of health. That was a weird thing that happened there when I jumped down. I feel like the camera has a bit of a time trying to catch up. Yeah. But yeah, that's partly an issue of enemy AI. Like, the enemies don't force enough of a confrontation. And I mean, one enemy is hardly going to force a real confrontation, but like, I feel like maybe they should be a bit tankier. Oh dear. I wall jumped on an invisible wall. Probably. can do it again. Yeah, we might need that. Add it to the list, I guess. Well, ripperonis. But yeah, I guess part of the thing is this should probably be a tier 2 type enemy. Which, basically, it's a bit of a weird concept, but basically, what I'm doing for enemies is like putting them into tiers. Like, deciding how strong they are based on that, somewhat. Like, for example, one of the one of those fears would be only be a tier 0 enemy because they aren't really a big threat on their own, but might be a threat in bigger groups. One of the security legionnaires might be a tier 1 threat, and then one of the shield legionnaires, which I don't think we have any here because their shield doesn't work right now, is a tier 2 threat. Because I don't actually quite know how I want to handle giving them a shield. So yeah. But like the idea is then that you have to start out with a tier 2 threat to like get you into combat, and then you slowly get to deal with other threats. And next, I guess soonish I should do a check for the wall jump so that the player actually has to learn it. So they probably have to have some section like this, why they have to wall jump up. Although I personally kind of like the Mega Man X type of just falling down a pit on the road. Where it's like broken. I just like the visual of it, to be honest. So, yeah. Something like that. With proper wall jumping this time. I think that's FTL. Yeah, the slug theme. Like battle theme. Yeah, same. Oops. My bad. Something like that. How that will turn out exactly, it doesn't matter yet. This is not to scale anyway. It's just a rough representation. And yeah, the player will fall down here somewhere. And then we'll have to wall jump up. Very Mega Man X, kinda. Also very similar to what we have at the moment. Like, at the moment we have a very similar, like, enemy, jump up here, fight another enemy, and then fall down here if you want. Or jump over. Though it will take a slightly different approach in this case. With the wall jump now being required. Although this time I feel like I want to test the player's ability to wall jump a bit more. Like, get them a bit higher. But I'm not sure, I also kinda... I guess getting them higher would have the neat effect of you would be able to see like the city before the destruction, because that will be a part you will do. I just need to think about how I get the player down then, once they are up. Maybe have them go through a building. where we could have some interior design as well. So like at the moment, very similar to what we already have. A very, you know, simple cityscape sort of area. Maybe with another building here in the background. Just something to make this seem a bit less empty. Nah, I'd rather keep it shorter. Something like halfway here. And then have the building here somewhere. Canvas size. Just a general idea. Like first have the player scale the wall here. Of like a taller building. With maybe some more enemies around, but I'll see about that. And then like have a window here to break through, which could be neat. Or an open window, I don't know yet. And I don't know if I'll do something to stop the player from getting higher here. In here they can fight some enemies. Something like getting the player out here then. To the market. Probably move this up here. This line here. And remove this. Jeez. Yeah, I'm sure it works. Have like the player fight some enemies here and then one or two here. Just giving, you know, the player something to do while they are moving through the level. Just... And again, this is all just planning, like, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to work out that way in the end, but... it's at least worth a try. Why does this not work? I mean, first of all, I need to anyway do that below, so... I didn't close the line there, I see. But yeah, moving through a building like that. Maybe with a cool scene where you like break through a window pane here. There's a lot you can do with this sort of setting. That's why I kinda like the idea of using a city setting here. Have like one of these in here. So the player actually needs to fight. And maybe another one down here with another tier 2 or 1 enemy. Honestly, probably tier 1. Like this. Yeah. That works. And I guess move through here, then should like the move through here should be relatively simple. Just go through here, go down here, go up here, and then fight your way through. And jump through a window for dramatic effect. Yeah. How exactly that will work out, we'll figure out. Have some more tier 1 enemies, so the player's adequately busy. We're going to be very unhappy that he just jumped through a window. Just something to keep the player, you know, moving. I do think the player should learn at some point to dash, but... because that's like the biggest thing I noticed when I first... like, when we showed off this demo. I mean, yeah. But like, how does... you need to remember... I'm designing this with the assumption that players are stupid, because clearly they need to learn first how to use a controller. No one is actually, like, I don't believe any player actually needs to learn that, but you know, I can't assume everyone is a experience. But yeah, less stupidly said. The thing is, for example, when I tested, like when we showed off the demo for our university presentation, some people didn't quite know how to dash because it wasn't clearly indicated, and that's one thing. The dash exists, but not everyone knows how to use it. So I think this is actually a good opportunity as well to teach the player they have a dash. Like, have like a pop-up, you can dash through here. How exactly I want to do that is, I would kinda like to give the player like a situation where they are under stress and have to go through there. But I don't know how I would handle that. Yeah. But you get the idea, like something to force the player through here, some threat to force. Nope. Some threat to force the player to use the dash. Which might actually mean that I want to remove those enemies again. Because, you know, I would like to have something that actively forces the player to move. I just feel like the dash is kinda... Oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah, I feel like the dash is kinda... Dashing through here might be a good opportunity to teach the player that they have a dash, but... The problem with putting dash on a button is that it's a button you don't usually expect as much. Which is weird because I feel like it's a common thing in action platformers, but again, testing showed me that apparently that's not... Either I just got a really bad audience or... like an audience that was really unexperienced with this sort of game, or I just... Not bad in the sense of they are bad players, bad in the sense of they are badly fit for this type of game. Or it's just not as common as I expect it to be. Either way, having some situation where you're just told at the right moment to use it is probably a good introduction to the dash. Kinda similar to what Celeste does with the jump you can't make in the beginning, where you have to fail. Exactly. But like, kind of what Celeste does, where you're like... I want them to fail, but at the same time, The problem is there aren't a lot of bottomless pits, if you get what I mean. This isn't really a game that has bottomless pits. Well, that's kind of my idea with this. This is kind of my idea with this, honestly. Having something that forces the player out of here. Something that forces the player to go that way. Which is why I want to kind of remove these enemies, because they don't accomplish that. The idea then being that the player is forced to either find the dash on their own to get through the window, or after failing this challenge, are taught. But that means I need to find a way to actually, you know, encourage the dash. So like I feel like we are both thinking similar ideas, but the execution is different. Because again, I feel like having something that forces the player through here. Yeah, something that actively approaches them if they don't. It's just, what would I put here? But what do I do? What do I do to actually punish the player for failing this? Because again, this is kind of the thing. This game doesn't really have. I have an alternative idea actually, which kind of loops back around to the same concept. One sec, I'm going to move this entire building. Because I feel like I have an idea. I just need to actually... instead of forcing the player to dash there, although I will probably also force them to dash there. I'll instead have the player either do a dash over here. Oops, wrong layer. Dash over here, which means they learned how to do a dash. Good. You learned how to dash, now you get to proceed with the level. Or, if you fail that dash, you instead I mean, if you have a dash jump, you know what to do with a regular dash. I'd say. If you fail to do the dash jump, you cannot get up there again. So instead you go into a tunnel down here, which... I mean... I feel like the main dash is less of a relevant tool for this. Also, I need to actually, in that case, probably redesign this section. Like, I don't think it's that relevant to teach the player the dash jump as well. Like, just so they can get up here again and try again. Because I actually don't want them to try again. Because if they fail the dash, I rather want them to go through a separate path which forces them to learn the dash. This assumes you already know how to use the dash, and if you don't, instead you're forced into a section which teaches you a bit more about the dash. Which means I need to add new... I want to reward players a bit for already knowing, if you get what I mean. So I give them a bit more of a... The thing is, I'm taking the Sonic 2 approach to this, basically. Where if you already know the game well enough to keep yourself on the top path, you get rewarded through speed and in this case also combat encounters. While if you don't know, you're instead relegated to a slower path that allows you to learn a bit more about the platforming in the game. This is basically how most Sonic levels are designed, at least most classic levels, but also to a certain degree Adventure 2, for example, has that in Radical Highway, where if you know some tricks you can take a path that is faster. Also, this is just a neat excuse to give me a sewer section. Which I wanted to have for this level the entire time. So, you know. And then we can have here a section where, for example, the idea with the crumbling tiles, where if you don't get it, you fall back. And that will then lead back up here, so the player is back on the main path. And I'm moving those a bit further out, so the player has actually time to recover, get their bearings, stuff like that. But yeah, how this will handle the dash, I'll think about. Doesn't really matter too much. It's probably going to be something like... I need more space down. Yeah, let's just make a bit space. Something like... First a section here with crumbling blocks. And maybe... something stopping you to get up here. Doesn't really matter what it is. Just needs to be enough to stop you. With whatever the crumbling blocks will end up being, doesn't really matter too much for us. I'll just mark them with grey, I don't know. And then a similar section here. Just without the crumbling blocks, so it's just air dash or nothing. And then you can get back up here to follow the main plot. Probably with a like semi-solid or whatever. I'm not sure how I will handle that. Just a small little section to force the player to either learn or fall. And then just get over here and back up. I mean, I could put the Konami code into it. Doesn't really stop me. And of course all of that will have a background because, you know. And if you fall, you can get back up and eventually you will learn. Hopefully. Then you fight some enemies there, and that's already a lot, so I might as well start modeling that before I continue designing. Wrongly. I probably didn't close my lines. Oh no, I mean, I didn't close my lines, but for different reasons. So yeah, that's a good starting point. Maybe have some enemies here, just to keep the player a bit busy. Because after all, we want the player to, you know, actually fight. We don't just want them to feel like they're doing nothing. Okay, that's a lot. I don't know where I'm going to save that, I'll think about that later. After stream. I mean, combat is supposed to be somewhat the fun part of this game. Obviously platforming is also part of that, but, you know. Combat is quote-unquote the main appeal of the game, so instead of having to do this boring quote-unquote tutorial, you get to actually do stuff. I will maybe put one enemy here just so the player's not completely free. Something like that. Yeah, that looks good. Now I somehow need to make that all work, which is a lot, but it's mainly just figuring out how I want to transform this all. I probably ate my mouse again. What does it think it is? A cat? So I think this is good. Like, this part is basically what I want. I might want to replace this. I might want to replace this Legionnaire with a more, you know, threatening enemy, but other than that. For that, I first need to anyway figure out how I want the enemies to work. Like, especially the Shield Legionnaire. But yeah. Either I put something up here that gives the player a reward if they get up there. But I don't know how I would want to do that. So I kinda prefer just not allowing the player to wall jump here. By making it impossible. How do I move again? So yeah, this should in theory be enough to stop the player from getting up there. And then oh, wrong side. My bad. And then like something like This should be, yeah, fine. Hopefully. I don't think I can wall jump on that now. Yeah, no way. And now the first change, I guess. Instead of doing what I currently do here, I rather would like to have something completely different, honestly. So I should probably just move the entire boss arena aside later, but we'll take care of that when we get to it. How high can the player jump? Five tiles with the wall jump? Probably. Oh, that's high. It's pretty high. If I can even reach that, that's going to be fun. Like that's going to cause some issues. Eight tiles. Not bad. Gonna be real. Ah, no. Not what I wanted. Huh. That means this needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yikes. Oh, ads. Sorry. Gonna take a quick break. Doch. Well, I'm back to this cursed theme. So yeah. This is spicy. I wasn't gone that long. Does this work? This is probably going to be cast on so many levels, but you know. Surprisingly, you cannot get up there with an air dash. What can you get up with a wall jump? You can, but it's kinda awkward. Huh. That's the wrong scene. Why did it just switch? See, never mind. I think I know why. Change of plans, this is going to be a building now. That's what you get for... Tile map. Tile map. Trains. So... I guess that works. I'm doing this completely wrong again. There. Yeah. That's what you get. Irony, huh? Okay, this is now where the level gets a bit more, you know, different. I think my chat didn't update for that yet, like the overlay. But anyways, now that hey Sprite, could you stop eating my mouse? I like my mouse. Actually, that's maybe a bit of a stretch, considering how many issues I had with it lately. But yeah, after that we have the dash I wanted to check. That will work fine. I might raise the floor a bit. Which is also, I should probably move some of these. I'll take care of you two later. You can sit up there for now. I know I'm very generous here. Actually, I think I prefer keeping it lower. So it seems more like, if you fail to jump, there are actually consequences. Instead of tutorials. Now, an important check would of course be if you can even fail this. By the way, I'm probably going to call it soon. It's already somewhat late. And I will need to make more sprites for the next upcoming section. Both of them, to be honest. Also, yes, you can technically skip the wall jump section here if you have. If you have if you know how to do the air dash already, but you're forced to climb a wall literally right after, so only if you fail both you might be in trouble, but even then you will have to learn the wall jump at the end of the tutorial section for the dash. So no matter which path you take, you will have to learn the wall jump. Why is the song called Circus Age? Yes, that's something I just threw in the room. I still haven't set that up. Remind me of that. We also don't have a remind command yet. Although we could probably make one. But yeah, the song is Sucker Age from Guilty Gear. The original Guilty Gear. Bro, I think by Daisuke. Like, I think that's correct. Yeah. Again, I need to make the command, I just... Would you be surprised if I told you there's actually a lot I need to do still? Yeah, it's going to take a while to get this all stuff, like that stuff all set up. Partly because both of us honestly are kind of busy. Even though I kind of wish we weren't, but... Can the player reach that? Be majorly upset if they could. But I fear I know better. Yeah, I feel so. Why is the wall jump so broken? Like with the wall jump, you can just reach anything. And that will get you down here. Which will have the unfortunate side effect of me probably needing... actually, as long as I don't go below that line, which is going to be... maybe? We'll see. And this is where I need to move a bunch of stuff. So I'll probably do a lot of this off stream and let you all know how that will work out. But I think for today I'm going to call it. It's been a long stream already. Somewhat long anyway. So yeah, thank you all for coming to the stream. It was... We made some good progress, I would say, even if it was a bit more planning and stuff. I need to do a lot of stuff off stream right now. Or work with Silicon stuff and, you know, Silic's a bit busy. Let's find someone to raid. We could raid Twit. Nah. Let's raid. Oh no. It's not completely done. I'm like, I realized this was probably going to take a bit of time because I need to rearrange a lot of stuff. So, so I might call it now, if you mean stream is done. In that case, yes, it's done. We are probably done. For now. I need to think a bit more about how I want to actually implement this now. So, yeah. As I was saying, let's find someone to raid. Who wants to watch Cult of the Lamb? Aki is currently doing, like Aki is currently doing Cult of the Lamb, and I think all of us here are more than excited to join the Archeolites. So yeah, sounds like a good plan. Let's raid Aki. In case you don't know, Archeoline is doing a lot of art. Cursed art, less cursed art, all the fun stuff. But she's also playing a lot of games, so prepare for a great and French old time. See you all around. Take care, and bye.